clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
Still second down.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
What a tremendous play by the defensive line. Instead of getting too far upfield against the draw, able to hold their spot and make a big play in the backfield.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme. Get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
First down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So now here's the kicker, Andrew Franks, in a pressure spot. He'll have the win at his back here in the fourth quarter.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
So now here come the Dolphins. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
5 yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that 5-yard line. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The play clock's running down, and they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
So they're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
This is taken at the 3. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hey, we got three. All right, here we go.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Automatic first down.
Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Still second down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll come out in the pistol.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
The point after now for Aguayo. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete.
Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up 1st downs.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taking it about the 16. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And here are the numbers, Charles, and you and I over nice egg and cheese biscuit this morning at the hotel. We read that huge article in the paper about him wanting to flush last week. He's flushed it.
Yeah, he let it go entirely, and the reason he's able to do that is because he's so strong mentally. Every time something goes wrong, he never attributes it to himself. He knows that he's better than that and knows a way to bounce back, and we've seen that talent just come to the front. And by the way, nice order on the egg and cheese biscuit.
I was just a little embarrassed that you took the bacon off.
No.
Was that doctor's orders?
Only reason.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down.
Encroachment, defense. Automatic 1st down.
Fresh set of downs here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll step away and come back to San Diego after this. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen Hey, third down situation. Big third down alert. Lock in here. Fourth down play. Make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Look at the spin. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Here we go. Blue line it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Looking to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 30.